Hello dear students, welcome to BioSmart Academy. In today's lecture, I will going to start a lecture series where I will discuss each and every modules, and I will try to give you some of the most important topic from that module. Okay, so as you know, the exam will going to be held on January, at the end of last week of January. So you must prepare yourself. Okay, and another important thing, at the end of this lecture series I will going to upload the best preparation strategy. So please share our content so that more and more students get benefited, and also already uploaded many lectures that will definitely going to benefit you, so please watch that lectures. Okay, so today I am going to discuss about the most important topics of module 1, that is biochemistry. Okay, or you can say molecular basis of interactions. So this module, many students don't want to read this module. They feel that this is tough module, but believe me students, this is one of the most you can say conceptual or most easy to if you try to understand this module, then it will be fun to study biochemistry, right? So what you have to study for biochemistry. Okay, so I know that you are preparing from last year December or January, and so on and so forth. Okay, so I know that you read biochemistry well, but some of the important topics that I will going to discuss here, you must note it down. Okay, so first, so in biochemistry, the first part is chem biological interactions. Okay, so we know that there are two type of interaction. One is covalent interaction, covalent, and another one is non-covalent interactions. Okay, non-covalent interactions. So in our biological point of view, covalent interaction is not so much important. Okay, so if you want to skip what is covalent interactions, okay, so you can skip that, but you have to understand non-covalent interactions, because this non-covalent interactions is very important from examination point of view. Okay, so what are these interactions? These are mainly hydrogen bond. Okay, I already make a video on these biological interactions. If you go to the playlist of biochemistry, the first video is on this. Okay, so hydrogen bond, uh, ionic interactions, or you can say electrostatic interaction. Okay, then the van der Waal interaction and hydrophobic interaction. Hydrophobic interaction. Okay, so you have to note it down that what is hydrogen bond, ionic interactions, van der Waal interactions, and hydrophobic interactions. You should know which is the weakest, which is the strongest, and all these things. So this part is important. So you should read this part. Okay, so you can visit our video of lecture series of biochemistry. You will find this. Next is biomolecules. So in biomolecules, you have to study protein, carbohydrate, nucleic acid, lipids, and all these things, right? So first is protein. So you have to give more and more focus to proteins, because this is very important. You will definitely going to get question from protein. Okay, so from where you going to get protein? So basically you have to study pi, that is isoelectric point, right? So you should know about the pi very well. Okay, so they sometimes may give you a easy question on pr. Okay, so you just note it down, all the amino acids and how to calculate the pi, right? And another important thing, before you start this, you should know the single letter code of each and every amino acid. For example, if you say aspartic acid, the single letter code for aspartic acid is D, glutamic acid is E, like that. You should know all the single letter code for the amino acids, right? Another important thing from proteins, you should study the secondary structure of protein, especially alpha helix and beta sheets, turns, all this. Okay, so what are these things? Okay, and apart from this, you should have knowledge about motif. You know motif? I hope that you know what is motif, right? And apart from this, you have to understand that tertiary structure of protein, quaternary structure of protein. Okay, and beside all this, you have to know what is simple and conjugated protein. Simple and conjugated proteins. Simple and conjugated proteins. Okay, and in simple and conjugated protein, you will find many glycoproteins, metalloproteins, hemoprotein. For example, metalloprotein, alcohol dehydrogenase, nitrogenase. You should know all these names. And simple and conjugated protein is there. And apart from this, fibrous and globulous protein. Very important. Fibrous and globular protein. Globular. Okay, so in fibrous protein you should have the idea about the collagen. So collagen, elastin, you should know all these things. And in globular protein you have to read about the you have to read about the oxygen transport, that is about total, about the hemoglobin, myoglobin, and especially about the oxygen transport in hemoglobin, because many times you get question from all these things. Okay, so these are the some most important topics related to proteins. Okay, salting out, salting in, all these things you should know. And Ramachandran plot, although you not get question from Ramachandran plot, but you have to know Ramachandran plot. Okay, you should have the idea about the dihedral angle. Okay, so about proteins you should note all these things, right? Now next part is carbohydrate. So in carbohydrate they ask very less question. So basically you should read carbohydrate is anomar. What is anomar? Enantiomar, 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 epimer, epimer. You should know the difference between these three, because they sometimes give the structure and they ask that which of the following anomar and enantiomar, epimer. So you know anomar is the difference in the alpha and beta. If you visit our lecture series of biochemistry, you will get all these things in details. Okay, I teach all these things in you will find all these things in playlist, right? So apart from this you should know about the polysaccharides, right? Polysaccharides you should know the linkage, for example chitin, the linkage of chitin. Okay, so like that cellulose, what is the linkage of cellulose? So you should know, you should know about the polysaccharide and their linkage, for example cellulose, for example glycogen, for example chitin. All these things you should know. And apart from this you should have the idea of oligosaccharides as well. Okay, so these are important topic related to carbohydrate. And what is reducing sugar, non reducing sugar, sometimes they asked in the 2 marks question. So this is all about carbohydrate mutar rotation. Okay, you should know all these small things. These are easy and you can do it. Now, nucleic acid. So in nucleic acid, they don't ask many more questions from nucleic acid, many questions. So basically, they ask the difference between bDNA, zDNA, and aDNA. So these three types, B, Z, and A, you have to know what are these. And apart from this, you should know about the DNA denaturation. DNA denaturation. Okay, and supercoiling. Nowadays they don't ask many questions from supercoiling, but still you don't know CSIR, so you should read these three things from nucleic acid. These are the important things. Okay, so I don't think that you have to give more focus on this nucleic acid, but you have to understand all these three things, right? Next part is lipids. So in lipids also they don't ask basically many questions, but you have to understand the concept of saturated fatty acids, unsaturated fatty acids, right? Saturated, unsaturated. Okay, unsaturated fatty acids. Okay, so you have to understand it. Okay, so they sometimes ask question related to melting point of fatty acids. Okay, melting points of fatty acids. Sometimes they ask the question from melting point, and sometimes they ask give a table and ask the question from the storage, or you can say storage disease, for example Tay-Sachs disease, and so on and so forth. So you should note it down all these things from lipids as well. So you have to focus in biomolecules, you have to focus on protein especially, and then carbohydrate, nucleic acid, lipids. The things that I marked you, please note all these things, please read, because these are important. You may get question. Okay, in lipid as well you should know all these things. Okay, so now enzymes. So before I start the enzymes, I just want to mention you one thing, is that you should know about the vitamins. Okay, so there is a table in Laninger, if you follow that. So vitamin B, okay, vitamin C, so all these you should know their cofactors. Okay, so you should know all these things. Okay, so sometimes they ask questions from that table, so you should read that table very well of vitamins. Okay, so note it down, that table of vitamin from you should read that. Okay, because sometimes you may get 4 marks question, easy 4 marks, right? Now enzymes, very important, just focused on enzyme, it's very important. Okay, it's very important. Now, So in enzyme, what you have to read? So first of all, you should read the classification of enzyme. Okay, so you know there are 6 basically classes of enzyme. I teach all the things in enzyme lecture series as well. I have to complete that lecture series although. So but there are, although many lectures are there on enzyme, so you please go through that. So enzyme classification, okay. So you should read this first classification, then transition state, about the transition state, okay, about the transition state. Clear? The most important 2 things that you have to read is enzyme kinetics, and another important thing that you have to read is enzyme inhibition, okay, especially all that inhibition, competitive, non-competitive, that is all this you can say reversible inhibition, right? So enzyme inhibition with all that graph, that is Lineweaver-Buck plot. You have to draw all that graph, Lineweaver-Buck plot, okay, that how this Lineweaver-Buck plot works, okay. So according to that, you have to read that enzyme inhibition, okay. You have to understand enzyme kinetics, that is equation and all that things, okay. So these are the most important. Apart from this, you can read the regulatory enzymes, okay, what is feedback mechanism, all these things, and chymotrypsin, ribozymes, isozymes. Note it down: chymotrypsin, ribozyme, aspartate protease, isozymes, zymogen. You have to read all these enzymes very very carefully. So this is one of the most important topic from where you will definitely going to get question. So okay, so please go through all these topics of enzyme, okay. Now we came to bioenergetics. Although bioenergetics is important for gate examination mostly, but if you want to read bioenergetics, then you should have the idea about the Gibbs free energy, right? So Gibbs free energy and all that things, okay. But I don't think that you have to give more focus on this bioenergetics part. But yeah, this is very important from gate point of view. So you just read little bit about bioenergetics if you feel comfortable, okay, or you may leave it. Now the most important part from this section is metabolism, okay. So here you have to focus some of the important pathways. For example, glycolysis, very important, okay. So they sometimes ask very simple question from glycolysis and you don't know and you just leave it and it gone for 4 marks, okay. So very important, glycolysis, okay. Krebs cycle, okay. Pentose phosphate pathway, right. Gluconeogenesis, and all those important pathway, right. Then so you have to focus on this majorly, this in these 4 pathways: glycolysis, Krebs cycle, pentose phosphate pathway, gluconeogenesis, then glycogen metabolism, and all these things, right. So you should know all these things, okay. And from electron transport chain, you should know the function of cytochrome C, what does it do, okay. You should know about the inhibitors, okay, about the inhibitors of the electron transport chain, okay. Inhibitors of electron, inhibitors of oxidative phosphorylation, you can say electron transport chain, okay. So you should know all these things. You should have the memory to store all these things, okay, all these pathways. So according to me, I feel these are the most important topic, okay. And there are also in metabolism some uncoupling agents are there, okay. Some uncoupling agents are also there, okay. So you should know about these uncoupling agents. So what are these things, okay. So you should know all these things. So these are some important things that you should focus from the metabolism part, okay. So I hope that if you follow all these things that I marked you here as important, then I hope that you get a good result, okay, from biochemistry. You will definitely going to solve 3 questions from section C. You will definitely going to solve 3 questions from section C, okay. And 3 questions from section C means 12 marks. So it's very important from biochemistry, right. So this is all about important topics from biochemistry, okay. So I will upload the important topics from cell biology, okay. So if you liked it, please share, please support us, and please subscribe if you watch the lectures from our YouTube channel, because we need your support so that we can spread a knowledge to all with all of you, okay. So we will meet again. Till then, thank you.